physically and mentally it is quite challenging.
Whoever wins this race will take the lead in the championship.
I don't think any other sport offers you that much adrenaline rush at a particular weekend.
JK Tyre's association with Indian motorsport began 3 decades ago, when the company took a conscious decision to lay down a long-term and sustained approach to promote Indian motorsport.
Back when we took this constructive decision that we are going to invest on motorsport, and the company got the whole package together. I was from the motorsport background, I was inducted in. We were from an era of rallying, and it was after 7 successive years that we realized that if you need to give a fillip to the sport, if you want the sport to be looked at by common man, you need to go back to the drawing board, you need to go back to a stadium sport. And that's how in 1997 we got this whole package together of racing, where we had a 800cc powered single-seater racing car, and we used to have Maruti Esteems as our saloon category. This is how we started, with very, very humble background. And as they say, rest is history.
And over these 3 decades, through the efforts of its motorsport division, the company has been associated with events in all forms of motorsport in India. From the JK Tyre Rally of Coimbatore, which is part of the National Rally Championship, to the TSD format JK Tyre Hornbill Rally held annually in Nagaland, and most recently to the JK Tyre Arunachal Festival of Speed, held for the first time in 2014 in the town of Dirang in Arunachal Pradesh. In the racing format, JK Tyre has the distinction of hosting the JK Tyre Racing Championship, which is now in its 17th year, and the JK Tyre Rotax Max National Karting Championship, which has been going strong since the past decade and is currently in its 11th year.
Although there were some big boys who were kind of ready to take this game, but if you wanted the sport to find its feet, so we needed to get go-karting into India. And that was the same time in 97 December that we opened our first 4-stroke karting center. And this whole program then evolved on year basis. And in 2000 we also had our first karting championship. So even the karting program now is in its 14th year, and this racing program is in its 17th, actually 18th year, because first year we ran it as a contender to the championship. So it's been a long journey.
In all these years, it has been JK Motorsport's endeavour to break away from the elitist image that the sport has, and to make motorsport in India more affordable, at the same time to ensure that it is at par with international operating standards, and promoting Indian motorsport talent and making India a force to be reckoned with in the world of international motorsport.
You see, today we are in the bestest of situation, because I don't think we should look at this championship or any other scenario. We should look at Indian scenario, and we should be very proud that we have this fantastic entry level 100% Indian car, and as I said, is the cheapest form of racing that is available in the world. So come to the Indian driver. He has now got a program. He starts from 4-stroke karting in the backyard of his town, graduates to 2-stroke, graduates to LGB, graduates to the higher levels. So I would say if a kid has it in him, he can train himself in this country and actually now launch his career from F3 and above when he goes abroad, which was not the scenario earlier.
They say the third round in a 5-round championship is the best chance race drivers have to redeem themselves. You've not been able to do too well in the first 2 rounds, but after having driven those 2 rounds, your rhythm is improved. And if you can hold off everyone else and win consistently for the next 3 rounds, the championship is yours for the taking. I'm Abhishek Singh, and we are standing at the home track of the Mohite's Racing Academy in Kolhapur. The Friday practice for round 3 of the JK Tyre Rotax Max National Karting Championship is underway, and the drivers are desperately trying to get the setup just right on their karts. This round, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be make or break, which means that it's going to be a lot of fun.
Being the only CIKFI affiliated proper racing track in Kolhapur, in India, it's quite technical. Like we have fast corners, practically saying you can have Coimbatore and you can have Hyderabad over here. You can't be fast on one thing and be slow on another. Like in my heat 2, we missed a little bit of setup, which made me stay behind a competitor for 4 laps. So you have to be very smart on it. You can't fidget with the kart a lot. You can't try new things. You have to know to get that. And then after a point, it's like if you're 3 seconds slow, your kart can take you 1 second, but the rest 2 seconds is the driver. It's challenging, but at times it's easy. But you have to manage it quite well. And not only being the home track, but everyone enjoys driving over here.
The Mohitesh Racing Academy track in Kolhapur is a place which has been the training ground for some of the country's most talented race drivers. These boys have not just made the city of Kolhapur proud, but have also raced internationally under Indian team colours in multiple world championships. One of the most formidable drivers to come out and race from the city of Kolhapur is Jitesh Mandodi. Mandodi is known at racetracks across the country for his aggressive driving style and his uncanny ability to pull off the most astounding overtaking maneuvers. We caught up with the local race hero and his doting father and spoke to them about their journey.
He showed a lot of interest into this karting. So we have got a automobile. Actually, I am from automobile base only. So we have got an automobile workshop also here. So that's how we started. I started pushing him, and because of his interest, we started taking him to the track every day.
Mandodi and his father form an intimidating duo, and together they've managed to bag multiple karting and racing championships.
First 2 days I'm struggling a lot with the car, but then on the final days, qualifying and all, my car is ready and it's giving a proper time.
There are a lot of parents at the track cheering their kids from the sidelines. But Sachin Mandodi goes a step further. He is now the team principal for Mohitesh Racing and the manager of the Kolhapur track where he hones local talent.
2007, when this track was built, Mr. Shivaji Mohite was a friend of mine, a family friend of us. Because being into automobile, he said, if you're looking into it, so why don't you take care of this track? Why don't you train the children? Why don't you be here on the track? That's how I came into this field, and I started looking after the children, training them, looking after track setups, everything. I was in Malaysia for about a month or so, learning about what the setups and different things, and that's how I totally gave myself into it.
Motorsport is not a cheap thing to indulge in, and despite having support from a lot of quarters and having tons of talent, compromises need to be made.
He's always been supported by Mohite Racing, JK Tyre and Akbar. Every time, every year, without me telling anything, it's always given to him. It's always been there. That is the reason that we could afford, or I could take him till this end.